Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Hello my educational psychology students. How is your learning going? So far so good? Please do not hesitate to chat me personally or via Spada if you have any questions. In the previous learning video, we have discussed about socio-cultural diversity in the classroom. Are you aware about that now? You should be, everyone. Like what I have mentioned in the previous video, in today's learning video, we are going to discuss about learners with exceptionalities. This topic is quite interesting as well as important for us, the teachers. I hope you can follow my brief presentation well, because it surely will help you later on. First point we are going to discuss is children with disabilities. Educators increasingly speak of children with disabilities rather than disabled children to emphasize the person, not the disability. Then, learning disability is the difficulty in learning that involves understanding or using spoken or written language. And the difficulty can appear in listening, thinking, reading, writing, and spelling. A learning disability also may involve difficulty in doing mathematics. When you discuss about disability, you must be aware of some disabilities many children experience. They are dyslexia, a severe impairment in the ability to read and to spell. Dysgraphia, a learning disability that involves difficulty in handwriting. Dyscalculia, also known as developmental arithmetic disorder, is a learning disability that involves difficulty in math computation. The precise causes of learning disabilities have not yet been determined. However, some possible causes have been proposed. Learning disabilities tend to run in families, with one parent being so affected, although the specific genetic transmission of learning disabilities is not known. Also, some learning disabilities are likely caused by problems during prenatal development or delivery. Attention deficit hyperactive disorder. Some students might be categorized as having deficit hyperactive disorder when they have trouble attending to the teacher's instruction and are easily distracted. They can sit still for more than a few minutes at a time, and their handwriting is messy. Attention deficit hyperactive disorder, or ADHD, is a disability in which children consistently show one or more of these characteristics over a period of time: inattention, hyperactivity, impulsivity. Definitive causes of ADHD have not been found. However, a number of causes have been proposed. Some children likely inherit a tendency to develop ADHD from their parents. Other children likely develop ADHD because of the damage to their brain during prenatal or postnatal development. Among early possible contributors to ADHD are cigarettes and alcohol exposure during prenatal development and low birth weight. Mental retardation. The most distinctive feature of mental retardation is inadequate intellectual functioning. Mental retardation is a condition with an onset before age 18 that involves low intelligence and difficulty in adapting to everyday life. Children with severe mental retardation are more likely to also show signs of other neurological complications such as cerebral palsy, epilepsy, hearing impairment, visual impairment, or other metabolic birth defects that affect the central nervous system. Genetic factors, brain damage, and environmental factors are key determinants of mental retardation. Physical disorders. Physical disorders in children include orthopedic impairment such as cerebral palsy and seizure disorders. Sensory disorders. Sensory disorders include visual and hearing impairments. Visual impairments include the need for corrective lenses, low vision, and being educationally blind. Children who are hearing impaired may be born deaf or experience a loss in hearing as they develop. Speech and language disorders. A number of speech problems, such as articulation disorders, voice disorders, and fluency disorders, and language problems, difficulties in receiving information and expressing language. Autism spectrum disorders are characterized by problems in social interaction, problems in verbal and non-verbal communication, and repetitive behaviors. Children with this disorder may also show typical responses to sensory experiences. Emotional and behavioral disorders consist of serious, persistent problems that involve relationship, aggression, depression, fears associated with personal or school matters, and other inappropriate socio-emotional characteristics. The second point is educational issue involving children with disabilities. Public schools are legally required to serve all children with disabilities the least restrictive environment possible. Public school must make legal aspect of working with children who have a disability and make use technology in educating children with a disability. The next point in today's learning video is students who are gifted. Children who are gifted have above average intelligence and or superior talent in some domain, such as art, music, or mathematics. Characteristics. Alan Wiener, an expert on creativity and giftedness, described 3 criteria that characterize children who are gifted. First, precocity. Children who are gifted are precocious and given the opportunity to use their gift or talent. Second, marching to their own drummer. Children who are gifted learn in qualitatively different way than children who are not gifted. Third, a passion to master. Children who are gifted are driven to understand the domain in which they have high ability. There is another characteristic proposed by experts, namely information processing skills. Researchers have found that children who are gifted learn at a faster pace, process information more rapidly, are better at reasoning, use better strategies, and monitor their understanding better than their non-gifted counterparts. Nature-nurture issue, developmental changes, and domain-specific giftedness. Is giftedness a product of heredity or environment? Likely both. Individuals who are gifted recall that they had signs of high ability in a particular area at a very young age, prior to or at the beginning of formal training. This suggests the importance of innate ability in giftedness. However, researchers have also found that individuals with world-class status in arts, mathematics, science, and sport all report strong family support and years of training and practice. Developmental changes and domain-specific giftedness. Do children who are gifted become gifted and highly creative adults? In Louis Terman's classic research on children with superior IQs, the children typically become experts in a well-established domain, such as medicine, law, or business. However, most did not become major creators. That is, they did not create a new domain or revolutionize an old domain. One reason that some children who are gifted do not become gifted adults is that they have been pushed too hard by overzealous parents. As a result, they lose their intrinsic motivation. Educating children who are gifted. Some experts recommend some ways to educate your gifted students. There are special classes, acceleration classroom settings, mentor program, and community service program. Those recommendations that you can find in your book can be your references to treat your exceptional students later on. Because every student is special. I hope today's material will be meaningful and useful for you. The assignment for this week will be there in M.Pd, and for the next learning video, you will learn about behavioral and social cognitive approaches. Please read about the material in advance. Thank you and see you on the next learning video.